it's Yolandi and Megan and Carla, as well as Andrew and Elia from Grit Night. And we are talking a little bit today, obviously about sleep, but about traveling and surviving the holidays with rest, getting some rest as well. That's the whole point, I think. I don't know how it happens. I always say to people, everyone's so tired this time of the year. And then something magical happens on the 1st of January or the 31st of December. And all of a sudden, everyone has energy again. So let's make sure that you do have that rejuvenation during this time, and that it's not too stressful, because this is one of the questions I get the most this time of the year, is how do I survive? Now we've gone through all the process, but how are we going to survive the festive season to make sure that we don't regress completely while on holiday? Megan, are you going to start? What's your top tips for traveling?
My top tips for traveling? I think the biggest thing is often with being a parent is when you were young and child-free, it was a real holiday, and I think there's an element of your holiday that does change quite a lot when you have kids. But I think the biggest thing is don't stress too much about routine. You've got the whole year to get back in routine. Once the term starts and the kids are back at school, the nanny comes back, but rather stick to routine-driven things. So rather there's a certain way of doing things, how you do things, so when you get to your destination, follow your bedtime routine. Don't worry too much about timing. Also sometimes in Cape Town and those sort of destinations, the sun goes down later, or you're being social and you go out for dinner. So that would be one of my tips is rather try and stick to your bedtime routine. Don't stress too much about time. And the second one would be, especially if you don't know the environment or the place you're going to sleep at, take black bags and some sellotape or press stick to put in the windows, because sometimes especially the beach houses have a very light curtains, and it really does help your child to get the rest that they need in terms of making the room darker. So those are two usually my biggest tips.
Yeah, I mean, I think on holiday often I find that obviously the environment changes a little bit, because more often than not we have to share a room with our, obviously if you generally share with your child, it's not the end of the world there. But if you don't normally share a room with your child, now all of a sudden you're with them in the room. Don't have them too close to you. Try to put the cot a little bit away or the bed a little bit away from you, and incorporate, I think, white noise is also helpful.
Yeah, I think being mindful that you are still in their sleep space. So try and create a little separate space if you can, perhaps in the dressing room, or just like you said, further away from your bed and not right next to you, because you might not be aware of all the sounds that they do make if they're not usually sharing the room with you.
No. Yeah, I mean, I think traveling is quite stressful, but I do also think it is important not to sweat the small stuff, but more often than not, it is that we are over planning. It is not like traveling on your own. So you can't be spending the entire day on the beach. You can't be going to a wine farm the whole day because you have a child. So you do also have to be careful not to overplan your days, I find. And yes, some days you are going to be busier, but in the end of the day, you can have some consistency some days. You don't have to be out and about the whole day and for every day.
I try and tell my clients to try and be home for at least one of the naps.
Especially the smaller your children are, the more
if
you
you
need
are
them.
traveling or you've got a busy day planned, try and work with the nap. Try and schedule your trip in accordance to the nap. So leave home and then have them nap in the car. Yes, it might not be as long as a nap, but at least they get to nap and at their time that they're supposed to.
It also cuts your travelling time. It cuts your travelling time with your child crying or screaming, because that is their nap time, so they already are tired. So I 100% agree with that. I think it's actually a very wise move to make is to sort of travel in their nap time.
That is if your child actually sleeps in the car. If you don't have a car sleeper, that's not going to help. But so then you want to do the opposite of that. But I do think that's the most important thing, is to keep in mind that don't overplan and overschedule. Try to relax in the end of the day. Because remember, children do feed off our emotions, and if you're going to be stressed out about it, they are going to be stressed out about it. And if you're thinking, okay, in 2 weeks' time now, over Christmas, we are going away, our child's going to be in the same room as us, I'm completely freaked out about it. Have a trial run in the safety of your own home. Test out having your child sleeping in your room to see how they react. They're probably going to be fine. But have a little bit of a trial run with small things before you go away to also make sure that you are going to be okay.
But now I also don't want to be the Grinch that stole Christmas. But the reality is, if you let all the rules go out the window on holiday, we'll expect your call in January.
But there's nothing you can't fix.
Yes.
So
It's a big one.
that's, in the end of the day, even if you do get out of the routine completely, which I don't think is necessary on holiday, I have to say, but anything can be fixed again. You can get back on track again in the new year, even if it is completely out.
So I think these are just tips to help you have a bit more of a restful holiday.
Yes.
Rather than this whole anxiousness of being away, being out of environment, being out of routine. I think these are just small tips to sort of say, enjoy your holiday as much as you can, having the whole family together.
We follow a holistic approach, so it's not just about the sleep. It is also spending time with your family and having that quality time, because that is what a holistic approach is looking at everything and looking at yourself. Okay, Grace,
Have a good Christmas!
fantastic Christmas, safe travels. See you in the new year. Bye.